Well, you know how a couple of videos ago I was speaking on channels downloading images that had been produced in Photoshop or just made black and white. Well, it seems like I have made an error in the last video. I will have to delete it, but I am going to play the rest of the video. On the end, I'm going to just knock out the beginning. I made an error because it was a video from almost 6 years ago, and I played the best parts of it and then downloaded it to YouTube. So it's something that I did 6 years ago. The main point of that video was the cog on the Great Pyramid, but I will get there shortly. So I'm going to have to begin like this first. You remember when I made the first video on Abu Simbel? The one afterwards I pointed out a channel, this one here. It made a video. I'm thinking that they thought it was some kind of rebuttal towards that video. The rebuttal nothing. Anyway, this Ancient Architects channel, you can see that they've made a video on Gobekli Tepe. This image here is one from their video list, and you can see that they make a lot of videos on Gobekli Tepe. Anyway, that was also put out on the date that I released that one recently. But during that video, it goes on to say that the information where he's got it from, they have since accepted that the site must have had some sort of roof over it, and that it was mentioned about 2 years ago at this conference. Well, that information came from me. I've been saying that for 5 years. So now getting to the error that I made 6 years ago. It began from reading a comment in the comment section on the video that I'm going to have to delete. The comment that I saw, the guy ended up being banned, not for just disagreeing with me, with just the constant attacking, and then as I read down the list, it was just commenting all over the place, just attacking people and me. So the guy ended up banned. Anyway, I did go check the information that he was talking about, and the image does seem like it is from some kind of model, right? But the main point of that was pointing out the cog in the doorway. I will show you how it seems like it could be multiple cogs. But as we know, nobody's perfect, and that includes me, especially over 6 years. I think it's been 5 or 6 times where I've had to do this before. I've had to point out a specific artifact or site where I've got something in particular wrong, and I will always do that. I'm not frightened of it. The main thing that we can take from this is that it shows you just how quickly I can spot this stuff. Originally, I noticed that the doorway seemed to be some kind of calcified cog, so I went searching for images, and then that one popped up, and obviously I realised straight away that the white concrete substance had been removed from the thing, okay? Anyway, I'm glad that I did go searching more images on this supposed cog here. Now, I'd noticed this before years ago. It seems like if this is indeed what I'm saying it is, it's like it's been smashed because it runs into the wall at the side, but it does curve around. But if you notice where I've drawn the red lines in there, it seems like something smashed into this rock here and left a dint and imprint of the, like it's smashed backwards. It seems like there's more than one here, like your derailleur on a push bike and your gears get smaller and smaller. I'll show you the rest of the images that I've drawn around, and I will zoom in. Hopefully you can see what I'm talking about. I'll come back in a minute. as we can see from that black and white image there are many interesting shapes and anomalies that's within these concrete blocks, in my opinion. But we did learn something else, and that is that a lot of these channels that attack people like me for doing my own work, when all these people seem to do is just sit down with some Google site in front of them, download some images from a specific site and just read from a Google page. This is Sacsayhuaman, and when you look at this image, this area is completely flat. I've looked at other images today that's lower to the ground from back here, and it is completely flat, okay? Because this is an old image. I said in the last video I was going to prove that there's another level to this wall. Well, all these walls will go down further, okay, but there's another level that's even bigger than this, and they won't excavate it because it's too mind-blowing, right? And you can clearly see there's another level to this wall there. They even excavated an ancient site here, right, which they've recovered up since. Why have they recovered it up? If they excavated it, why have they recovered it up? Why didn't they move it all? Right? Well, the obvious reason is because there's another level to this wall that make these blocks look small. That's why. But this stuff gets put down no different to how we build and decorate in modern time, because everything we have today, every building method, has been learnt from archaeological finds of the past. That's the real meaning for back engineering. And this is plaster, obviously. This was a plaster wall here, and they scratch squares into it. So when they put this down on top, it sticks. It's not a rock cut tomb, is it? You know, it's down as a tomb, but what does it look like? It looks like the attic of some small house, right? This thing here looks like wood. I know it's not a brilliant image, so you're going to have to go check my Google channel. It just looks like some sort of blanket box inside some attic, or where a boiler would be, right? The reason why I say that is because, why do you think that hole is there? It's because this used to be an attic. This was an attic, and you came through there. The rest of the house is buried under the sands, right? So this might in fact have been a boiler. And this box was put in here when this house was built. But when it's like this thing here. I've put these down. In fact, all these are actually baths, and they've turned into this material from the Great Flood, right? Those lines on that wall there are no different to like when you put a shower down. These, you can see the imprints of the piping, for God's sake. Yeah, if you look there, you can actually see where the tap came up. There's a missing square there. Yeah. Every single thing that you see here is no different to a modern day bathroom, right? I bet you can even see like an imprint, say, of a plug hole, but it will all be closed up now and turned to stone, okay? Anyway, in the last video, or the video prior to that, I showed you the image here, and I said that I couldn't find the original one that showed how it used to be an attic of a building that was still buried, and the square framing that you're looking at just looked like it was the square framing where you climb into your attic. Well, I found the images here. It's not the exact one that I showed in an earlier video from about 2 years ago, but it's good enough. Well, if you like that, ladies and gentlemen, and you want to help the channel moving forward, you can press on the link in a pinned comment, which will be in every video from now on. Thank you.